y'all. Welcome to another video. Welcome back. It's been a week. My world has just been a week, and I wanted to sit down today and just play with some blushes and do some swatching and some comparison. And if the mood strikes, maybe a declutter. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the number of blushes I have, but we'll see. We'll see. So let me get these guys out of their basket and we'll sort them. Okay. These are my blush babies. I have a major affinity for blush. It is one of my favorite stages in the makeup process. It really can bring a face of makeup to life. And if I have to choose between blush or eyeshadow, I'm going to go with blush every single time. Let me sort these by brand. You know, all of my Make Beauty blushes. Wait, I know I have a fifth one somewhere. Did it vanish on? Oh, there it is. Okay. I have 3 RMS blushes. I have the one Armani, 2 Hourglass palettes. One of these is quite old, the other is newer. 2 Haus Labs. Don't I have a third? Yeah, I have a third Bare Minerals bronzer. And then these are the singles. These are the, I have the one Nabla blush, and I have a Pat McGrath palette as well as a single. Okay, how do I want to go about this? Let me do the brands that I have multiples in, and we'll do some swatches and some comparisons and go from there. I really don't have a game plan today. I just want to get my fingers in the blush. These are going to be all my powder blushes because I just posted a cream blush declutter. We're going to put the ones that aren't being swatched at the moment back in the basket just to clear some of this visual clutter. That's better. Let me grab a rag. Okay, so we're going to start with RMS. I have Maiden's Blush, which honestly, if I had to pick one blush from my current collection to like hang on to and use until the end of time, it would probably be this blush. It is so pretty. It's neutral. It's got some rosy undertones. It's got a lot of beige. I love it. Hanky Panky was my first RMS blush, and it is just so special. I don't see anything else like this on the market that's got this formula, the texture. I love the pan design on these. This one's been used quite a bit, and you can still see that like gemstone stamping. And then Sangria, which on camera looks a lot more peach, but in real life it's very pink. So let's do it like that. Okay, so this is Maiden's Blush. Let me turn on my light. Oh, hey, that's better. Y'all can see it. This is Maiden's Blush. It's so brown, but it's rosy. It's got a lovely amount of neutrality. Sangria. I don't do a red blush very well, but this like coral pink is just, it's so flattering on the skin, brings the face to life. Hanky Panky. Now, one of y'all left a comment on one of my videos about how Hanky Panky looks like a bruise on you. And I can see that. I can identify with that. And the only advice I can give is to fill in the gaps. So if this is very, very contrasty on your skin, you might want something like Flirtatious from Pat McGrath to balance out the rest of the blush look. Something a little bit more skin native. That's gonna help fill in the gaps. This blush does not swatch very well, but I assure you, it's a dusty beige that on me really does look skin native. It looks like this is the color that my skin turns when I am naturally blushing. It's a really lovely blush. It's a beautiful formula, and it very much provides that bridging the gap. All right, I have 3 Bare Minerals bronzers, and honestly, if I'm going to do a declutter, it's going to be in this category because two of these two are very much alike. Kiss of Pink, I really like. It's one of my only pink blushes, and if I'm going to own a pink blush, it's going to verge a little bit on the peach. I do have some pinks in, no, I have another single and I have a couple palettes. Oh, I just remembered I have some singles in my big single eyeshadow palette. This is Kiss of Mauve. Oh goodness, what is going on? Get yourself together. So this is pretty comparable to Hanky Panky. It does have a lot of those same raisiny undertones. But this could be, any of these 3 could be good blushes to bridge the gap if Hanky Panky is too cool toned and looks bruise-like on your skin. So that's Kiss of Mauve, and this is Kiss of Rose. They're so similar. They really are. They're so super similar. I don't know that I necessarily need to keep them both, but I also don't have the mental energy today to mess around mentally figuring out which one to keep. So they're gonna stay. Let me grab those singles. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and swatch these. Just again, this is just for fun. This is not too serious. This is not, you know, deep into color theory. We're just playing because that's what I need today. I need to play with some blush. I need to drink some water. Okay, so this one is from the Balm. I have no clue color name or anything. However, she's beautiful. It's this deep beigey peach that I kind of want to compare to Fire Moon from Haus Labs. Okay. Those are pretty similar actually. Fire Moon is maybe a little bit more peach, where the Balm has maybe a little bit more rosiness to it, but they are pretty similar. All right, so this lovely cool toned beauty is from a collab that Lorac did with the live action Beauty and the Beast movie. I really like this blush. I really do compare it to Flirtatious. It's a little deeper. And while we're comparing stuff to Flirtatious, let's also pull out this. This is from Milani. This is Petal Primavera. This absolutely shocked me. It's one of their baked blushes, but it is pretty similar to Flirtatious. So if you are a beauty lover on a budget and you're looking for something comparable, I would go with Petal Primavera. I'm not calling anything a dupe, but I do think they're pretty close. All right, back to this palette. This is one of my oldest blushes, and I forget that I have it because it's now a single, but I do really like it, and I should wear it. This is my personal version of crap, the one from NARS that I can't remember, Orgasm. It's much more flattering. It's a lot less glittery, but it does still have that peach base with a little bit of a gold reflect. It's really pretty. And then NARS. I had another NARS blush in here. I don't know where it went. It's probably in a palette somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I decluttered. Oh, I decluttered it. I got rid of it because it was really dry and catching. Those are pretty similar, but this one's a little lighter, a little bit more beige. I love blush. I love blush so much. It just makes me happy. It makes me happy. Okay, let's close this up. I'm going to keep everything I have swatched out for sake of comparison. I want to compare anything. I know which ones I've already swatched versus my basket over here. Okay, where are we going next? Let's do these palettes. Let's take a look because we just swatched Flirtatious. Let's take a look at this holiday palette from Pat McGrath and these two holiday palettes from Hourglass. Oh, I love these palettes so much. So this is the Ghost Edit. It's not available anymore, but I really don't care about product relevancy. I care about using what I have, regardless of whether or not it's something that my viewers can get a hold of. Because I'm so small at this point that I don't worry about people rushing out and buying the stuff that I'm swatching and playing with. Like, that's the whole idea, is to play with what you already have instead of rushing out and buying new stuff. Says the person who bought a new palette, a new blush, and a single eyeshadow on Mercari last night. All right, this is one of my favorite and most used blushes from this palette, and you can see why. It's that perfect rosy beigey pink. It goes with every look. It finishes a look. This blush really surprises me. Every time I use it, there's this like surprise factor to it. This is the only bubblegum pink blush that I own, and that's fine. Because if I want a bubblegum pink, I know right where to go. And this, I don't know if it qualifies as a blush so much as it's a highlighter, but it's worth swatching. This has been one of my absolute favorite purchases of like the last 5 years. Maybe I should do a video about my best and worst purchases because I have bought some stinkers. Okay, so this is one of the Hourglass palette ambient lighting palettes from 2023. This is the second lightest color story in the jellyfish packaging, which was the lightest story's original package. I ordered mine from the Hourglass website and I love it. It's beautiful. It's metal, it's heavy. It's what I wish this was. You know, this plastic packaging it feels cheap. It doesn't feel like the packaging is worth what I paid for it, but the blushes inside very much are. This I love. So we're gonna swatch her out. I think the formula has changed a bit because I'm having a harder time building this one up than this one. Strange. We're just going to swatch the blushes. I'm not going to worry about the highlight or the finishing powder or the bronzer. But dude, I'm traveling this summer and this would be like perfect to take with me. A friend of mine and I are planning a trip to New York to go to the Metropolitan Museum and see the fashion exhibit that they have going right now. So there we go. Those are my 2 Hourglass blushes, the blushes from these 2 palettes swatched out. And you know what? I love every one of them. This one's a little deeper. This one's got more beige. This one's more pink. And they're all great. All right, let's talk about this. I really enjoy this palette. I know that when this came out, a lot of people didn't. You can see me. Hi, y'all. And I understand not liking this because the formula is very, very different from her single blushes. But I like it. It's a little more pigmented. You don't have to build it up so much. And this, like, I think it's Desert Orchid might be the name of the blush. This was my first foray into like an actual beige with more orange and warmer tones than like a cooler tone. And I absolutely love it. When I need to warm up a little bit of a look, this is the type of blush that I go for. I don't necessarily always reach for this blush, but I reach for a similar shade and other stuff. Let's see here. Desert Orchid, so Nude Venus. And then this is Divine Rose 3, I believe. Yeah, there's a bit of a difference. This one has more peach to it. This one's a little more desaturated. And this is something Paradise. So this is Paradise Venus. I really like this blush. It's that ruddy, rusty, little bit of raisin quality that I love in blush. I have heard that rust is going to be the color of blush for the summer. Now, I don't know if I'm hearing that just from the voices in my head or like beauty YouTubers. I don't know where that information came from, but it's in my head. All right, so we've got, can I fit 4 more swatches on that arm? I think I can. I think I can. All right, so Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk Multi-Glow Beautifying All Over Glow Highlighter. It's technically a highlighter because you can see it's very shimmery. Mine has broken twice and I have repressed it twice because I refuse to let it die. And I do use this as a blush or a blush topper. It is deliciously deep. Again, beige. Got a little bit of rustiness to it, a little bit of raisin-y. And it's got a good amount of pigment for being a highlighter. I have to say, this used to have like that pillow top texture to it. And when mine broke, I had to break that all up in order to repress it. I am so happy that I have repressed this because now I don't have to worry about which part of the pan I'm taking my product from. It's all the same. And the packaging is really pretty. I like that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is probably the rosiest and pinkest blush I have at this point. This is one of my favorites. This is Independence. It's one of the skin glazing blushes from Nabla. I saw that they're bringing out like a smooth matte blurring blush. And I'm tempted, y'all. But that's why I wanted to get my hands and arms into my blush kind of remind myself what I have. That's why we do this. All right. So this is number 11 from Armani. It's the second lightest beige. I don't think the first one would actually work on me. I think it would be too light. Because this is a very lightweight, very desaturated, very skin native. And if you're somebody who has a problem with hanky-panky turning too bruise-like on you, something like these two will help, again, to bridge that gap. Nose! This is one of the newer blushes. This is in the shade Behave. I did just pick up Infatuated because I have not been able to stop thinking about that blush since I swatched it. And this is, again, a beigey pink. I love beige blush. I love beige blush. I love pink blush. I love red blush. I just love blush. I mean, how could you not love blush? All right, this is Haus Labs Pomelo Peach. So as far as peach blushes go, this one leans a little bit more pink. But it's got that brightness, it's got a richness to it that just lights up a face. It just lights up. The first time I put this on, I looked at my face in the mirror and I was just in awe of how beautiful this blush is. They did something special with this. Both the colors and the formula are really nice. I'm tempted to pick up the rosy version of this, but I don't know. I don't know. I have Fire Moon and I have Pomelo Peach, and that's a fair amount of blush right there. I have Killing Me Softly, the Fuji's version, stuck in my head. I've already listened to it twice. Normally, that will get a song out of my head, but it has not worked. I have listened to other stuff. At least I finally have Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne out of my head. And now that I've said it, it's going to come back. All right. I have made no secret of the fact that I love Make Beauty's blushes. And I did just buy a new one. So let's talk about them. So this is Celestial Rose. It is delightfully brown, neutral, absolutely lovely. New Moon? Yes, this is New Moon. It's a little redder. This is as red as I go with blush. Anything more red is just, I can't wear it. I can't do the candy apple red blush. This is the newer one to my collection. This is Amber Glow. I kind of want to swatch this against all of my warmer toned blushes, and we may do that once I get these all swatched against each other. Cosmic Pink. It's not bubblegum pink. This is actually a much more wearable pink for me. And that just leaves Mystic Mauve. Isn't she gorgeous? All right, let's just go in here. Mystic Mauve. I love it. I love it. I can't not be infatuated with this blush. It just, oh, all of these. And if you saw my building a rainbow palette, you saw that I depotted these and put them at the bottom of the palette. I immediately took them out because I was like, I don't want to hide my blushes in that palette. So yeah, the Mystic Mauve, Celestial Rose, New Moon, Cosmic. Mm. This is one of those pinks that is just so, it's a discerning kind of pink. It commits to being pink, but when you layer it on top of other stuff, it can look like a highlight. It can really change the tone and the shape of your blush because it adjusts the color differential. Amber Glow. I wanted a coral blush and I did not have one. So I bought one. All right, let's compare these. Let's compare Amber Glow here to Pomelo Peach and Fire Moon, because now we've swatched them all. Let's just play. Ooh, that's surprising. So if you look at Cosmic and you look at Amber Glow, it looks like someone smashed those two blushes together to make Pomelo Peach. That is a thing. Fire Moon, Fire Roasted Peach. Oh, and now I want to grill peaches and make raspberry sauce and vanilla ice cream. All right, what else do I have that falls into this category? Because now I'm rabid and feral. So we're gonna do Desert Orchid from Pat McGrath. And while we're swatching against browns, let's go in with a little bit of Maiden's Blush. So yeah, Maiden's Blush is rosier than all of those. What else do I have? Let's compare all of these to Armani number 11, because this has become one of my favorite blushes of the year. It really has. Yeah, unsurprisingly, it's much more desaturated. It's also lighter in color value. Oh my goodness, all the blush. Anything else I want to swatch against these? Let's do this. This is the Coral from... Ooh. So the reason that I bought the Make Beauty, even though I do have this Coral, this one has some shimmer in it, whereas this one is mostly matte. It's got that, these are called micro suede because they're so blurring, whereas this is more highlightery. It's from Model Co., which I believe is a British brand, in Peach Bellini. It's one of the first products that I ever depotted from like single packaging. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the difference in shine and texture and saturation, all of those. Okay, so I don't actually know if this is marketed as a blush or a bronzer. I use it interchangeably, but y'all, like, can we just take a moment? Okay, moment's over. I want to pull out all of my like rosy brown blushes. We already did the warm tones. So let's go brown. So we're going to do Maiden's Blush. I'm actually thinking I don't have all that many brown blushes. I have Fire Moon. Celestial Rose is definitely more of a brown. Okay, brown blushes. Hanker Panker. Kiss of Rose. Celestial Rose. You know what? I want to pull out, let's skip the browns. I want to pull out anything that says it's a rose. So this I can definitely classify as a rose. Behave, no. New Moon, I don't think so. Amber Glow and Cosmic, excuse you. Sangria, I would put this in with the rose, sure. Pink, Maiden's Blush. Let's swatch it with the roses, why not? Milani, Petal Primavera. Yeah. House Labs. Hourglass. Oh, good gracious. So number 4, which is this blush, is called Iridescent Rose. Incandescent Rose. So we'll swatch that one. This one doesn't have any roses. It's going to go in here. This is Kiss of Mauve. But it's close enough. I want to throw the Pillow Talk highlighter in here. This has Divine Rose 2 right here, so we'll swatch that. And these two can get put away. All right, let's swatch all the roses. Let's paint the roses red. Maiden's Blush. We just swatched this. We just swatched all of these. But again, this is the fun of owning makeup, is you don't actually have to put it on your face every day. You can get in there, you can play with it. Sangria, I think, you know what? This is not a rose. It's much more of a pinky coral. Kiss of Rose. I do really like this blush. I haven't used it in a while because I've had other stuff that I've been reaching for, but it is a lovely, lovely blush. Kiss of Mauve. Mauve or mauve? Okay, so looking up close at these, let's see if I can get the camera to focus. Kiss of Rose is definitely more brown, where Kiss of Mauve does have a bit of a cooler reflect. But you have to look pretty closely. They do look different at a distance also. That's interesting. Celestial Rose. I would say that this, along with Maiden's Blush, is another one of my favorite purchases in the last year. It's effortless. It's effortless. And that's what I love. Nabla, Independence. This is the very definition in my eyes of a rosy blush. Yeah. It's a really beautiful formula. These Nabla blushes, I don't hear anybody talk about them. And that's a shame because they're gorgeous. Petal Primavera from Milani. I know people talk about Luminoso, and I'm just like, okay, but have you tried Petal Primavera? It's honestly, for drugstore, it is impressive. Why do I have Armani out here? This is not a rose blush. This is a beige blush. All right. This is Incandescent Rose from Hourglass. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's it's pretty close to the Milani. That's interesting. It's maybe a little bit more pink, but it's not far off. And then let's pull out this weird guy. I love it. It's weird and wacky and wonderful. It's definitely more brown. I wouldn't call that a rose. It's definitely browner. The big beef I have with this palette is not the blush formula, it's the packaging that's so hard to open. There's no lip here to really grab onto. Yeah, it's a bit of a pickle. But Divine Rose 3, yeah. Have I mentioned I love blush? I don't know that I have, but it's yeah. This has made my brain very happy today. It's all I wanted to do was sit down and hang out and swatch some blush. And I believe that is going to do it for today's video. I'm not making any declutter decisions. I'm just not. I am just getting my fingers in my makeup and really having some fun with it. Why do I always do that? I hope you are taking care of yourselves. Nope. To my current subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for your support and your comments. I really do appreciate it. To my new subscribers, welcome. My name's Rachel. I am a huge fan of makeup, of color, of art. I'm also neurodivergent and disabled. I hope that if that's the kind of content you enjoy, that you will subscribe, that you will like and leave me a comment on down below. And I hope you are all taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, friends.